Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. This is Dina. Oh, today has been sort of a rainy, bit of a cooler day today. I have on a jacket because it turned a little bit cold this morning because of the rain. But I have just completed stitching my first stitching assignment for today, which is my Springo call. And my Springo call today was for number 18. And on my Springo board, number 18 is in the column I. So look at that. I've got 3 of the 5 already done in that one column. So who knows? Maybe the other 2 will be called this month and I can get a bingo. But I'll remind you of what my I stands for. It stands for Isabel's Garden. It's a lavender and lace pattern. And this was a new start for me, which I find interesting because we've had 6 calls so far, and 3 of mine have been Isabel's Garden. And I assigned these numbers randomly to my board, so there was no way to know that. Anyway, let me show you what I got done. I'm still working on her head, but if you can see it, I came all the way over here with this lighter color of blonde hair. I actually did finish another color first, and then I started it on this one, and I'll keep working my way up to the top of her head, and we'll go from there. But this was 127 stitches today, and so that's what I have done, and I'm going to put it away because it has 2 more chances to be called this month, and that gives me 2 more opportunities to work on it. And what I want to do is pick up my Royal Games 2 and try to finish that monthly portion of it if I can today. I don't know if I'll get to complete the whole thing today, but I would like to. So I'm going to try it. And I will come back and share with you how far I get. Anyway, I hope you're having a great restful day on Sunday. It's a great stitching day for me because it's raining. I can't take my puppy anywhere. I took her for a walk this morning before we even left for church, and I don't usually do that. We usually wait till we get home. But I just felt like this morning with the weather calling for rain, that while it wasn't raining, it was time to take her. And so I did, and I'm glad that I did because now it's pouring down rain and we can't take her out. So if it straightens up a little bit, clears up a little bit, maybe we can. But anyway, so right now she's just napping. She's cuddled up and just taking a nap. So I'm going to not join her in that, but I am going to let you get back to what else you might be doing. Hopefully it's crafting or stitching, and I'm going to get back to my stitching, and I hope to have something to share about it later. In the meantime, happy stitching, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Welcome. This is Dina. Today is April 7th. And I'm here to talk to you about my stitching today. I had a fabulous day today. My friend Juliana came over and we stitched together. We ran on some errands to Hobby Lobby and Joann's. That's a sad sight to go to Joann's. It's so bare in there. I did luck up and I was able to get some interfacing, iron-on interfacing, and some batting that I like to use for my project bags. I had run out of my interfacing completely, so I was able to pick up a couple of yards of that on sale. Not a great sale, 25% off. That's not what I was expecting, but I needed it, and I was going to have to pay full price for it otherwise, so that was good. Juliana was looking to see if they had any more lights on sale. She had gotten a good deal on one recently, or yesterday, I think, and so we did a little bit of shopping. We had lunch together, and then we came here and we stitched. So this morning I got started stitching. Took Coco on a walk in between raindrops. It's been raining off and on most of the day. And I am happy to report it is now just about supper time. My husband and I will be eating in a few minutes. But I wanted to let you know I hit one of my monthly requirements that I set for myself. And that was 500 stitches on Miss Christmas Eve. So I'll remind you, this is what she looks like. And I'm down working on this bottom of the skirt in these lower 2 or 3 flowers down here. This is where I'm at. And today I actually put in 532 stitches in Miss Christmas Eve. So here's what she looks like now. Each time you see her, you just see more skirt, more flowers, more greenery. But as you can tell, I am working my way around here. So today I did lots of things. I came over here and I did some of the sashing that you see. Here it is on this side. It's reversed for me. Did the sashing, one color of my Karen water lilies in the sashing. I did another color of Karen water lilies over here and some greenery, and kind of finished up everything but the beads over here. Came on over here and completed the backing colors behind that bow. Continued on over here and did some of the dark green, some of the dark green in here. All of this is new in here. And so I'm just working my way over and down, over and down, over and down, trying to, when I pick up a color now, I am stitching the color here, and then I'm looking across. Is it needed anywhere else that I can get to with very little counting? And then I'll go ahead and put it in over here. So I'm kind of working back and forth across here now because I'm at the bottom and I'm trying to be efficient, not having to pull those threads out over and over again, you know, by only doing one side at a time. So I'm excited. She's coming along really, really well. This one is one of the ones I want to finish for this year, and I think I'm well on track to do that. So this monthly requirements of 500 stitches a month is what's doing it. It really is. I make myself do 500 stitches on it before I put it away, and then if I get to work on it again, that's gravy. So that's a good thing. Now, not only did I hit that monthly requirement today, but I had used Miss Christmas Eve in my daily 30 because it requires 300 stitches. So when I knew I was going to have to do a whole 500 stitches, I figured 300 stitches in that one was gravy, because I can double dip because they're two different things. And so I was able to use Miss Christmas Eve today in my daily 30 acrostic cruel work. And I used it for the second E in the word cruel. And then I don't think that I've used her in any other acrostics. I haven't, just in that one. So, oh no, I'm sorry. I did use it in 24 hours across stitch, and I have already marked it off because I had posted it. I used it for the E in the second E in meander along. So 3 things in one. That was great. Stitched 500 stitches and knocked out 3 prompts. So I'm happy for that. Very, very happy. So tonight after dinner, a little bit later after dinner, I will be Zooming with some stitching friends, and I haven't decided what I'm going to pick up and work on yet. I was hoping that I would get through with my 500 stitches on this Christmas Eve, and I did, and I'm glad because that is on linen, and I prefer not to stitch on linen when I'm Zooming because I have to concentrate a little bit harder to watch for those little tiny skinny threads. And this piece also has a slub right in the middle of her skirt, right around where I'm stitching now, and it's making one of the stitches look just a little bit fatter. But you know, I think it's going to be hidden well enough in the skirt. It's not going to be glaringly apparent. So we shall see. Okay, that is what I have going on right now. Been making plans. I have invited a few stitchers from across the state to get together with me next month. I have rented a house, a retreat house in Georgia, which will be fairly close for us, and we're going to try it out. And so I have contacted some people that have been to different rental properties across Alabama and Georgia. I want to get their feedback on it, see how they like it. And I have been putting together some ideas of fun things we can do while we're there. So there'll be more about that to come. But one of the things that we talked about doing for this first visit, because I've booked the house twice. I've got different people coming to each one so that I can get more feedback. But anyway, the first group, we are going to stitch. We're going to do a new start. All that want to. This is all voluntary. and I'm calling it Out of the Stash at Last. I got this off of some floss tuber last year. I think we did this. And you basically look in your stash at something you've had for a long time that you've wanted to stitch, but it's always been pushed to the side for something else. And you can have a date that you want it to be prior to, and I have suggested that we pick patterns, if we have them, prior to 2015. Now, I have some fairly new stitchers that are coming and are new back to cross stitch, and one of them shared with me today they're not sure they have anything that old. They're not sure they have anything over a couple of years old, but they're going to go look. So that your oldest WIP or something before that was published before 2015. And you'll get a kick out of mine. Mine was published in 1999. It's an Alma Lynn. I love her whimsical designs, and they're sort of country, you know, they're dated a little bit, but I tell you what, I love this one, and I'm going to change it up just a little bit. I'm not going to do this ribboned border around here that looks like a little ribbon or candy cane. I'm just going to do what's inside of it here. I'm going to pick a beautiful fabric, and I will just do this angel inside this heart with the hearts on it probably, and not do the rest of it because I just want that. I think she's precious. So that'll be my new start. That's going to be my Out of the Stash at Last. So now I have to kit it up. Now that I've picked it, I have to kit it up. And I'm doing it this early because, quite frankly, I'm going to be traveling 2 weeks of this month that I won't even be here, won't be able to do anything. And then by the time I get back, I'll only have a couple of weeks before I go to this gathering. And that may not be long enough to get something in the mail, the way that mail is going now. So if I have to order anything, I want to be able to order it now and give myself over a month to get it. So that's my logic anyway. I hope you've had a great day today, the starting of a new week. It's been wonderful to start at Stitching with a Friend. I highly recommend that. And now I'm going to let you get back to what you were doing, and hopefully you're stitching. But I'm going to go ahead and get my husband some supper and then jump on that Zoom call. I may have time to tell you what I stitched tonight, but if not, I'll catch you up in the morning. Happy stitching, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. This is Dina. It is April the 8th. It is Tuesday. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about some stitching that I have done since we last spoke. Well, last night I was in a Zoom call, and my Zoom stitching time, I continued working on my one of my monthly goals, which is to finish a monthly section that I've divided in out of my Royal Games 2 that I'm trying to finish. And so I stitched last night till I finished the section for the month of April. And I wanted to share that with you on my Royal Games too. So you'll notice I have flipped it over now. I'm working on the second queen, which is the Queen of Diamonds. And it is beautiful. These colors are fantastic. And I don't know if you can see the sparkle, but this entire section of red over here is in red Krynic. It goes all the way up to the shoulder there. And then I've got other pinkish reds that are called for in here. And there's something in here that I think is going to be beads. I'm not sure. But I know those little spots in there are for black beads. And so there you go. So her shoulder is right here. So the next time I pick it up, I'll probably go up from here and try to get this side finished. And then the last section in June would be her head and her hair. And then in July, possibly, I could do the 2 card indicators. One's a diamond, one's a club, and backstitch all around the card. And then in July, I can beat it and hopefully get them framed, because I think I have to share them in August. Whew. So I'm pushing hard. I'm pushing hard on that one to make it my journey piece. I'll know better next year. Except they call it magic, I think, in that group. I'll know better next year what size project to pick before I do that. So that was from last night's Zoom stitching, and I did complete one of my monthly requirements, which is wonderful. So now I'll give you kind of an update on where I'm at on my monthly requirements. This month I wanted to do half a square on Hawk Run Hollow, which I've done. I wanted to do 500 stitches in Miss Christmas Eve, and I finished that yesterday. I wanted to do my monthly section of Royal Games 2, which I finished yesterday. I have 2 WIP Go calls. The first was gift stitching, which I've done, and the second is to work on an autumn project, which I haven't done yet. And the last requirement for the month was to start my 4 calling birds stocking for the 12 days of Christmas, which I have done. So if you're tracking all that, I have 1 monthly requirement left to do, and that is my WIP Go call for my autumn project. And that's okay, because I have on my list of things to do here on 2 of my acrostics, I'm calling for autumn in the village. So at one point I'll pick that up, I'll stitch it. I have to do 300 stitches because my WIP Go goal is 300 stitches. So that's what my goal will be on that project. And I may or may not get that done this week, but I would like to, because I'm going to be traveling for a couple of weeks. And I need to keep that in mind as I'm working on projects. There are a couple of projects that are small enough, my Peacock, for instance, that I can take with me when I travel because they're on Q-snaps and they're easy to move around. And so I'm kind of trying to hold off stitching those and do the things that are on large roller frames before I leave town so that I get those done. So then let's talk about the big event I'm doing this month, which is Spring Go. And I'll share with you my Spring Go board as of today. Look, I'm close to a bingo here and here. I only need 2 more, which will be great. Okay, let's go. let's get them done. So today's call was number 26. And number 26 is in my R column. And so that is my Rosie Rhapsody. I pulled it out this morning. It's my monochromatic piece that I'm doing on the really sparkly fabric, but I'm doing this top portion. And today I went ahead and ran my thread out, so I did 137 stitches. So now this is the center of the top. This is the center over on this side. So this corner is now complete. That whole corner is done. And that is repeated 4 times, of course, and then there's a center medallion here. So I completed that, and I just ran my thread on out down here. So my thoughts are, for the next time that I pull this out, to possibly go ahead and go inside and do all of the stitching on the rest of this page so that I have the page finish over the next 2 or 3 times that I work on it, because it won't be done all in one time. But the good news is this is on my Spring Go board 3 more times. So I have 3 more opportunities to work on it, but it'll also be a good retreat piece because it's monochromatic. So I may take this with me as well. Now, today is a lovely day. We went to breakfast with a couple from our church. We wanted to try out a new breakfast spot, and we all enjoyed it a great deal. It's called Bakery Grounds, and it's in Beaufort, Georgia, and it's a bakery, and they have a little restaurant on one end of it, and they do breakfast and lunch. And my husband and I had been there for lunch once, but we'd never been there for breakfast. So today we picked up this couple, and we headed on over to Beaufort to the Bakery Grounds. And we had breakfast and visited with them and chatted with them a while. We toured the bakery. I picked up a sweet roll for my breakfast in the morning. And had a lovely time. And then I came home and started stitching. I hadn't started before then because we picked them up at 8 o'clock this morning for breakfast. So I didn't have a chance to get up here. But I will be stopping here in about an hour. I have to leave to get my hair cut. And then I'm hoping to have a little more time to stitch before my husband and I are going to get together for dinner tonight. And we call it dinner and a show because we watch an episode of one of our favorite shows, whichever one we pick. So we'll be doing that this evening, and I don't know how much more stitching I'll get after that. So I'm going to put this all away. I'm going to grab the next thing I want to work on, and I will share it with you as soon as I can. Happy stitching, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back. It is the 10th day of April, and I wanted to come in here and catch you up with some stitching I had done yesterday and this morning before it gets too late and I miss another day. Just time got away from me yesterday. But my Springo call yesterday, for the second time so far in the game, was for something that fell in the column of S, which for me is Spring Quaker. And I had to get 100 stitches in it, and I wound up getting 180 in this before I put it up. So I'm working on this motif right here. And yes, it is half of a motif. There's something else on the other side of it. But I worked my way, I finished the middle, and I worked my way up, and I've started working my way around this way. So there you go. A little bit more on that huge motif, and I'm hoping it gets called again, since it could be called 3 more times, which would be wonderful. So then yesterday, after I finished the Springo call, I worked on a secret stitch. I am in a group that I call the Lake House Stitchers. It's a bunch of us ladies that go to the lake house with a friend, and this time when we were there, we decided to draw names, and we would stitch something and fully finish it for one of the ladies, whoever's name we received. And they watch my channel. So I can't share with you yet what I'm doing. But I worked on it for 2 days. I actually worked on it part of the 8th and part of the 9th. And I have it to a point now where I think it's fill in. And I'm planning on taking it with me on my road trip to finish it up. So that is my secret stitch. And I actually received a pattern from my friend Lori from Once Upon a Stitch a while back. And she had stitched it, and she asked if I wanted it. And I said, I actually do, because there was a part of it that I wanted to use for my secret stitch. And I was able to adapt it and take a portion of that overall chart to stitch what I wanted to do. So I can't wait to share that with you, but it'll be just a little while. So once I get it all fully finished, I will go ahead and record a segment for it and just hold it until after it's gifted, and then I can share it with you. But that took a bit of time out of my day yesterday. And then I decided that I would go after my second WIP Go call, which is an autumn piece. And for me, my only autumn piece that I'm working on right now is Autumn in the Village. I'll remind you what that looks like. And I needed to stitch 300 stitches in it for my WIP Go goal. Now I'm using it for some acrostics as well, but not in the one that requires 300 stitches. But for WIP Go, my goal is 300. And so I stitched on it yesterday until I hit 181 stitches. And then I just kept stitching on it today. And so today I finally wound up hitting my 300 mark, and I'll share with you what I did. I went ahead and completed this row of specialty fiber that it's a water lily that goes across here. And I also completed this. Both of these were kind of over in here somewhere, and I completed those. And then I came on in the box and I did the back stitching of the vine, and I started the lettering till I finished up my 300 stitches. I left a thread hanging here in the back. You can see it. It's a little thread hanging right there on the end. because I'm not going to close this up until I stitch all the way across and know that I've counted exactly right. Because if I need to adjust it, it'll be much easier to adjust it without it being closed up. I will have less to frog, and then it won't stain the fabric. So, looking ahead anyway. So that's my autumn in the village, and that is my WIP Go Call met, my second one met, and it will fit into an acrostic as well. So wonderful accomplishments so far today. Now, my Spring Go Call for today is Just Nan. It actually fell in the N column, and that is the first time I've had an N, which is wonderful. So now for April the 10th, my number 23 is in the N column, and so that'll be my Just Nan, which is my Summer by the Sea. So I'm going to pull that out now and get at least 100 stitches in it so that I am current, and then I can go about my day. I am Zooming tonight with a friend. My friend Marissa from Canada and I are going to talk. We get to see each other in a couple of weeks at the Stitch North retreat in Canada, so we're excited about that. And so we're just kind of talking, making plans, and I will hopefully get a little stitching done while talking with her as well. So if I haven't finished my 100 stitches by the time we get on the phone, I'm sure I will get it done while we're chatting. So I hope I get to come back tonight and share that with you, but if not, I'll try to catch you up tomorrow. Tomorrow I have a great day. I am getting to talk to my sister, and then I get to go to my friend Juliana's house to stitch with her, and Juliana and I are taking her mom to lunch. We're going to have a girls' lunch, and I'm excited about that. Of course, my husband loves the restaurant we've chosen to go to, and he's already let me know that if he's in town, he wants me to let him know when we're going, and if he can meet us there, he'll meet us there for lunch, which I think that would be fun. He would love it. And but he has a big run plan for tomorrow, so whether he'll be finished with it by the time we eat or not, I don't know. But I know he has his fingers crossed that he does. So a great end of the week, and then Saturday is our stitching meetup. I have lots of great stitching in my future. Now I've just got to figure out what am I going to take with me to Juliana's, and what am I going to take with me Saturday to my stitching meetup. So I got to do a little thinking about that too. And I'll share that with you as soon as I can. But in the meantime, I do hope you're enjoying your week. I hope you're getting a lot of stitching done. Oh, and I do want to say this lovely scarf was gifted to me by one of my stitching friends that I've met through FlossTube. So Mary, you know who you are. And I just wanted you to know that I'm wearing your scarf you gifted me a while back. My husband and I unfortunately had to attend a funeral today, and I have on black slacks and a black sweater, and I thought, I'm not wearing solid black to my friend's funeral because she would not have liked that. She would love a pop of color. She actually, for a while, worked in a clothing store here and loved to put outfits together for you, and I just decided I was going to wear a beautiful pop of color for her. And so this was the perfect thing. So Mary, thank you. I even got several compliments on it today. I guess people enjoyed seeing a pretty springy pop of color, you know, amongst all of the dark colors there. Not disrespectful, actually just more respectful of who she really was. So I hope she was smiling down on that. Anyway, I wanted to thank Mary and let her see me wearing it because I don't always have my scarves on by the time I film. And so I hope that you have a great weekend, if I forget to tell you. So enjoy your stitching as you go, and I hope to have some more to share with you soon. Happy stitching, everybody. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. Today is April the 11th, and it's just a little after 5, and I've just gotten home from my friend Juliana's house, and I have some stitching to share with you. Yesterday, before I left you, as we were chatting, I mentioned that the call for the day was my Summer by the Sea, because the letter that was called on my Springo was in, and it was the first time for my Just Nan Summer by the Sea. That's what that will look like, hopefully, when it's finished. And I had to stitch at least 100 stitches in that. And so yesterday I stitched 102 stitches. I was just doing enough for the prompt because it was late in the evening. I had already been working on my Autumn in the Village, finishing up those 300 stitches that I've already shared with you. So I will show you. I worked more on this border. I just went ahead and did 102 stitches in that border, just carrying it on around to meet that prompt. And that's all I did. And I put it away. And then I went and spent some time watching TV with my husband and visiting with him. So then this morning when I got up, I had a call with my sister Stephanie, and my call for today was, and that was for me, is for my ornament. And right now I'm working on the 12 Days of Christmas stocking design ornaments. And I'm on number 4, which is for calling birds. And so this is what for calling birds looks like. I have to fold the pattern so you can see it without seeing the pattern. And so today I stitched 110 stitches on it for my prompt. I'm going to take this off so you can see the whole thing, because I actually moved it up and it was covering it. So I've got one of the little birds done, which I thought was great. And this is actually on my board 4 more times, and so I didn't push it on any further today. I wanted to give it a chance to be called again, and so I'm not gonna worry too much about trying to push it right now if it's not called enough for me to finish it, because there are 3 more birds and I can probably do 1 each time it's called, plus the greenery in it, and I could have a finish at the end for the 4th call. But there's no guarantee that it'll be called 4 times. So this game will be over on the 25th. And so if I have not finished it by the 25th of April, I will make it a priority and I will finish it by the end of the month so that I will have another completed ornament, because there's my first 3 and there's number 4 coming along. So I'm going to put this away until it's called again on Springo. Then I wanted to have something to stitch on after hitting that this morning before I left to go to my friend Juliana's house. And I decided today that I would work on Peacock, because I am using Peacock for prompts. I'm using it for a prompt in Magazine Monthly Challenge group, and I'm using it in the 24 Hours Cross Stitch. And so it did not require any big number of stitches. It was just whatever I wanted to put in it. So while I was at Juliana's house today, I worked on the back of that peacock, that wing there, and finished it up. And that was 231 stitches. And so I think that was a wonderful progress on that today. And that's what I'm going to use to post now in my acrostics for both. That'll finish the Magazine Monthly Challenge, and it will bring my magazine, my 24 hours of cross stitch down to only needing 3 more to be completed, which will be wonderful. And I have, as of now, I have 3 left in my Daily 30 group as well. So getting along there, doing well. So that's the stitching so far today. And now I'm going to move this away for a moment, and I have an FFO to share with you. So I'll be right back. If you recall, I was working on a gift that I want to present to a friend of mine because she and her husband are always so kind to let my husband and I spend time with them when we are traveling and we're meeting a cruise ship or flying into Florida or something. They're always so kind to open their home and let us spend the night with them, either before or after our trip. And I wanted to do something that I felt like they could use and enjoy. And so I stitched the Hands-On Design Coastal Holidays. And this is the design that goes on the storage box. And this is the inside of that. And the 3 ornaments are stored in the box. So let's talk about those too. So here are the 3 ornaments that go into the storage box. Here's the first ornament. And it says peace at the bottom. And here is the second ornament, and it says Noel. And here's the third ornament that says Joy, and I put their name above that. That's the fabric on the back of each of them, the fabric that's on the box. And my finisher put a different color of floss for the hanger on each one so that different colors are highlighted. That highlighted the orange because that's so prevalent in there, kind of a rust color. And this highlighted the beautiful dark greens that are in the piece in the background and whatnot. And this one highlighted the yellow that are in the fish. Isn't that great? I think they are beautiful and they're finished beautifully, and I'm very excited about that. And they store perfectly in the box. So this is fabulous. So this is my finishing touch. This is Michelle from My Finishing Touch. And Michelle Rogers is her name. And I'm going to hold her card up here that has her contact information for you so you can screenshot that and possibly use that if you like to talk to her about doing some finishing for you. And so I am tickled to death with this. Michelle, thank you so much. Anyway, I had sent Michelle the pattern, the extra floss that I had left over, and I had sent her my fabrics and finishing material because I had picked all that out ahead of time, and she fully finished it for me, and I think it is absolutely gorgeous. So I can't wait to take it to Stitching Day tomorrow and show it off. I think that's going to be awesome. So there you go. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you. Thanks for letting me present that to you. And Mom's the word. I won't get to present that to my friend probably until November, December, when we see them next, unless for some reason we travel and meet each other somewhere else. But my thought is that I'm going to give it to her as a hostess gift when we spend the night at their house next. So that is fabulous. I'm so tickled to get that fully finished, and I'm just happy to share it with you. So I will say goodnight for now. My husband and I are going to run have some fish for dinner, and then I'll probably be watching some TV with him. I don't know that I'll be back up in my stitching room tonight. But tomorrow's a big stitching day, so I'm looking forward to it, and I hope I have something to share with you then. In the meantime, have a wonderful weekend, and happy stitching, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. This is Tina. It is April 13th, and I'm here to share with you a little bit about my stitching yesterday and maybe tell you what I hope to get done today. Yesterday was our stitching meetup, and we had a wonderful group of 25 ladies that showed up to stitch together. And we announced our new plans for our patriotic stitches for July. And then we let everybody know we have a new member of our group who's only come a couple of times so far and is just jumping in with both feet. And she was a model stitcher back in the day for a designer who had done a patriotic looking heart shape with an angel in it. And our new attendee, her name is Linda, and Linda did a model stitch for that as a punch needle. So she asked if she could make an adaptation of it for a project, for a memorial project for families of the 9/11 victims. And she partnered with, I think it was just cross stitch and needlework. Anyway, it was a magazine, and her design was featured in that magazine along with the story of the Angel Project. And I believe it was in 2023 that she did this. Anyway, she said there were 6,000 of these ornaments that she knows of that were stitched and gifted to people. And she did several herself. And then she and her family happened to be in New York City about a year later, and they were able to go to the fire station. It was one of the first responding fire stations on 9/11, and they were able to gift them some of these angel ornaments. So Linda has given us permission to reprint it and use it if we would like, for anyone in our group that would like to stitch something as a memorial for family member, friends, anyone who may have lost someone during 9/11. And so we'll be giving that pattern out, making it available to everybody who doesn't already have that magazine in their collection in July. And we'll stitch on that and be able to present those, for our show and tell table, or we can go ahead and gift them and tell who we gifted them to. Anyway, I thought that was a very sweet gift for Linda to do that for the group. And then another lady in our group, Lisa, has offered to let us stitch a freebie pattern that she has found, and it's for a little humbug pattern, a little triangle shaped pattern. And she showed us the pattern that we can use, and she's going to make those available to us starting this month. And then we can stitch on it until, I think it's October. And then in the month of October, we bring our stitched piece with us. And Lisa's going to teach us how to finish it and how to follow the finishing instructions to make sure we put it together correctly. And that'll be fun because the Satsuma Street chickens, the funky chickens and the groovy chickens, are put together the same way. And so this will be a very small way to teach the technique of putting something like that together by hand. And I've already heard from some of the ladies that were in attendance Saturday how much they appreciate the finishing tutorials that we periodically are able to provide by somebody in our group that's learned how to do one. So that was awesome. It was a great day, a very, very lovely day. A large group of us, about 5 or so, walked up the street onto the square and had lunch together at a local restaurant there called Sweet Magnolias. It has homemade sandwiches and soups and salads and desserts. And just one of those things, you walk up to the counter, you place your order and get a number, and then they bring it to your table. But you can sit in this big open area and talk and visit, and there's, nobody rushing you out. And I think it was a big success. I think everyone really enjoyed the atmosphere, and the food was really good. So we had a nice, nice day. So I was stitching during that day on my call for my Spring Go call, which was, for me, Peacock. And I actually got 190 stitches in it while I was at the stitching meetup. And this is what I did. I did this darker outline starting at the neck and worked my way all the way to this part of the back end and came back and started filling it all in. So I got that much done. I have a whole lot more to do down in here before another color pops in there somewhere. And there's still more of it to go up here, but I did something I could follow pretty easily while I was at the library, and got that in. Now, today's call, by the way, happens to be for number 14, and my number 14 is in the P column again. So guess what? I get to work on Peacock again today. So I get to put another 100 stitches in it, so I can work some more on this thing. So now I'll have to look at the pattern and decide what I want to work on. And I'll either decide to fill in the rest of this and come on down, or I'll go on in and put that extra color in here so that as I'm filling in, I don't accidentally, do the wrong thing. But I just wanted to let you know where I was in it as of now, because I start working on it again today for another prompt for my spring go, which will be great. Now, I do want to mention something else. I had stitched a piece for my sister Stephanie for this past birthday that she just celebrated the beginning of the month. And I was so excited that Mindy could get that framed in time for me, because I had intended originally to just lace it around a display board, because she has a frame that I had given her with the first one I did, that you just open the back of it and open it up, because it's between two pieces of glass. It's like a floating piece, and you just put that in there and close it up, and it holds it tight. And she's been using that for all the other dachshund pieces from Plum Street that I have stitched for her, all these little doxy pieces. This time, though, I wasn't paying as much attention as I should have, and I fell in love with the idea of putting it on a polka dot fabric, the brown with the tan polka dots, because the theme was polka dot Bekweenie. They had a yellow polka dot bikini on the dogs. Well, I didn't think about it being a different count. And so when I went to lace it on the board, I had the board and I realized it didn't fit. The stitched piece was far longer than the piece I had to put in the picture. And so I thought, oh no, it's not going to fit. So I ran to Hobby Lobby. I found that very frame, because that's where I bought it from. And I put it up there, and it would not fit in the frame. Even if I cut a longer board, it wouldn't fit in the frame. So I ran around the corner and told Mindy what had happened, and she helped me really quick pick out a beautiful mat and frame, and said she would put a rush on it, and that she would have it pinned and ready to go. And as soon as the frame arrived, she would pop it in and call me. And bless her heart, she did. So the minute that she called me and told me it was ready, I stopped what I was doing and I ran over and I got it. And I came home. I didn't even take it out of the plastic. I put it in a box I had to make myself. I had to break down 2 boxes and split them apart and use them to build a box to ship this thing in, because it was too long for any box that I had, and I had to get it in the mail. So I wound up putting it in a box and wrapping it up to ship. And then I put that in another box, and with everything else that I was giving my sister, a few little things, and put it in the mail. I didn't get a picture of it. So my sister now has it. And the other day I messaged her and said, I was in such a rush, I didn't get a picture of that. Would you send me one? And she did. She actually took it off her wall and laid it down to take a picture, because she had already hung it up. She said she hung it up the minute that we got off the phone. She loves it. And I told her what happened, and she said she's kind of glad it happened that way, because this one is so cute and so funny that she would like to keep it up all year, because it makes her laugh. And that was the whole purpose. I wanted to make her have a chuckle out of it. So I will insert the picture of the fully finished yellow polka dot Bekweenie by Plum Street Samplers. I hope you liked it. I am happy to report that she really did. She really liked it. So I'm excited about that. So now I'm going to let you get back to what you were doing, and I'm going to pick up my Peacock, and I will be working on it for at least another 100 stitches, and then I'll see what else I'm going to do today. I hope to have some more stitching to share with you later, but in the meantime, happy stitching to you. Hello everybody, welcome back. It is later on. It is still Sunday, April 13th, but it's later, probably about 8:30 in the evening. I wanted to show you the stitching that I accomplished this afternoon. And the first thing I'll talk to you about is my Peacock again. This was called on my Springo board today, and I knew I needed to put at least 100 stitches in it. But I just decided I was going to make a big splash, and I came in here and I did quite a bit. I did 416 stitches in this bird's body. So that has really pushed it forward. I'm excited about that, and I will go ahead and get more work on it as we go through, hopefully, the game. I hope it's not necessarily called tomorrow, but maybe to be called later on would be good. But anyway, so far it has been called twice, so there are at least 3 more possibilities for that one, for Springo. And then I decided I'm going to start getting ready for my retreat that's coming up in a couple of weeks. And one of the ways that I do that is I try to find a piece that I want to work on, that I could do a little bit of outlining, so I have fill-in to do, and this one really lent itself to that. This is Teresa Koget's Hope and Love, and if you purchase this, you'll understand this was one of her charity pieces that she was doing as a fundraiser for a young man who is fighting cancer. And so I took a little time, and I have not counted the stitches yet, but what I did was do the outlining of all the windows and the door. And so now I can, not only can I fill in windows and door, but it's ready to fill in the front of the house as well. And if I do all that fill in while I'm at retreat, I will finish the house, which is great. So I've got that ready now to take with me on to retreat, and I'm going to put it away to save it for the trip, so that I don't take away that opportunity of some good easy stitching while I'm visiting with people. So that'll be fun. So I don't know what my call is for tomorrow yet, because I haven't looked, but I'm thinking that this will probably be the last segment for this little video, and it's a Sunday. It's a good breaking point, and then I can start filming again on Monday and hopefully get something up for you right before I leave town, and that way it'll only be 2 weeks until I'm able to put up another video. But it will be 2 weeks after this coming one. So you'll have hopefully this video and one more before I'll have a bit of an absence due to travel. I hope that you've had a great weekend. I hope you've had a quiet day, a restful day, and I am going to be going downstairs in a few minutes to watch a little TV with my husband and Coco, and help them kind of in the rest of our evening. My husband, I went on a good run, and then we had dinner, and then he took Coco to the park. And so that was, gave me time to do some laundry and do a little bit more of my stitching and get that wrapped up for the day. So now we're gonna just kind of close out our evening together, and I'm looking forward to it. So happy stitching until we talk again, and I hope that you are well and happy, and I'll talk to you soon. Happy stitching, everybody.